feather. Although you know that your song will never be heard. How so? Tell me. How so? Tell me so. You know that your song will never be heard. Round here that way, it shouldn't be that way. Just sing. Could this be one of those questions that you never seem to answer honestly? Just sing. Could this be one of those questions that you never seem to answer honestly? I'm on fire. One goes higher. So searchable. The cotton and the wool is unbelievable. Reputable from you.
Frameshift drive charging.
You're like a calf and its leather, and you know that your skin will always be taut. We're gonna all dance together. Cause you know that your skin will always be taut. Be that way, shouldn't be that way. Just sing. One of these questions that you never seem to answer honestly. Just sing. Could this be one of those questions that you never seem to answer honestly? I'm on fire. One goes higher. So searchable. The cotton and the wool is unbelievable. Reputable from you. I'm moving, it's the way. I'm shifting, it's the way. I'm moving, it's the way. I'm shifting, it's the way. I'm moving, it's the way. I'm shifting, it's the way. I'm moving, it's the way. I'm shifting, it's the way. Wanna stop, don't see the limits. 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 Wanna see the limits. Wanna see the limits. Wanna see the limits. Stopping. You got me stopping. Stopping. You got me stopping. It was something that you said you didn't say. It was something that you did, you didn't do it. It was something that you said you didn't mean it. You didn't say it, you didn't do it. Oh no, it's a beat that you're missing. Wait, no, it's the soul inside. Oh no, it's a beat that you're missing. Wait, no, it's the soul inside. Oh no, it's a beat that you're missing. Wait, no, it's the soul inside. Oh no, it's a beat that you're missing. Wait, no, it's the soul inside. I'm thinking that you're just the one who's me. I'm thinking that you're just too proud to see. I'm thinking that we're not safe for breathing.
Serif, Hotel Alpha Lima. This is Shuttle Flight Control. Mr. Radar security scans on your approach.
I'm thinking that you're just too proud to see. I'm thinking that we're not safe for breathing. I'm thinking that you're just the one who's me. I'm thinking that you're just too proud to see.
We operate a no-fire policy within this area. Don't your weapons.
Programming inventory.
are trespassing on federal property. Vacate the area immediately.
You're the best idea I ever had. Now we're strangers on each other's photographs. Used to write your name there in the dark, in my heart. Now my head can't even spell this farewell. All those feelings used to reveal.
Reports of heavy traffic within the area. Maintain safe clearance distance.
They just disappear. No, it don't mean. No, it don't mean. No, I don't see. No, I don't see. You were the one. You at the end I had been searching for. All those feelings used to reveal. And they just disappeared. No, it don't mean. No, it don't mean. No, I don't see. I know I don't see. You were the one. You at the end I had been searching for. The chapters followed in I go one by one, one by one. Never read the lines between. Learned the jacket quotes all off by heart. My heart, no narration for that scene, that ending. All those feelings to be used to revealing. Pull away and they just disappear. No, it don't mean. No, it don't mean. No, I don't see. No, I don't see. You were the one. You at the end I had been searching for. All those feelings used to be reading. I pull away and they just disappear. No, it don't mean. No, it won't mean it. No, I don't see. I know I don't see. You were the one. You at the end I had been yearning for. See, you were the one. All of those feelings used to reveal. Though it don't mean it, I know I don't see it. You were the one. You were the one.
It's an honor to make your acquaintance, miss. We were briefed on the current conditions in Alien.
I share my partner's thoughts. The intercept of your transmission created a significant degree of turbulence in our information collections, and we've been tasked to aid you in your efforts to dispense with prismatic Imperium interference into Cubio first efforts in Cubio.
Much appreciated. As you might understand, I'm not entirely sure who and how such an effort was successfully undertaken, with our own technical faculties being leveraged in the extreme to conduct our own operation, and whoever that woman was, be she the Coral Nain about whom I've been briefed or another shadow, she and whomever she happens to represent are clearly a danger.
How'd you manage to make it aboard this thing?
I piloted right in, using your credentials with the tower crew.
Why would you use mine? Did you at least wipe the manifest?
I'm sure it'll be fine. They'll probably think it was a mix-up between the transmissions and flight tower ship registry staff. How do you think we managed in Kelame for so long?
I stowed away on Talionis's cargo rack behind some limpets, after giving a maintenance worker a couple bottles of Burnham-bile distillate to keep it his secret.
Can he keep his mouth shut?
I gave him a mixed drink recipe that'll leave him feeling lucky his eyes haven't melted out of his head. He'll know what's worth keeping down. Jorah's getting a little closer to where we need her to be.
She's been chewing the fat and puzzling through the reports. She still thinks you're me, but she's above board swabbing the poop deck after submitting her recent report. She accurately assessed that our intel about me being a Cubio first pilot was likely to have been a prismatic Imperium intercept, to try to head off any possible support for Cubio first.
I was really hoping we could run with that through the next few tasks.
I told you it was a bad idea. Alice is briefing them right now about your Golden Gate operations in the Pleiades. I've been keeping track of their operations, and they're going to need to make a materials run and collect some of those Guardian materials.
About it. So to recap, NAS agents in Alioth have confirmed the possible penetration of NAS operations by outside operatives claiming to be me. Your current task is to position yourselves in such a way as to collect as much information as possible on those particular operations. If possible, positive confirmation that Coral Nain was conducting operations in Golden Gate and, subsequently, the Pleiades region in the timeframe of the Jupiter Corporation rebellion under my own name and credentials would be as close to a total operational success condition, but I don't have any expectation that it would be an easy task to accomplish. A trip to the Pleiades might be required and, while that might be a little out of the way, I've been informed by sources in Sirius that there happen to be a strong contingent in the region where you can conduct NAS operations in tandem with your operations for Sirius Corporation. If you have any further questions, I will be available at relatively short notice. Good luck.
I sent you some credits to cover the jump and tritium deposit.
I received them. I'll need to communicate with the series representatives in the Pleiades about a possible carrier transit to the region. They seem a little hostile to our aims.
They're soft, squishy corporate suits playing at domination without the fortitude required to do what must be done to ensure peace.
I concur. I'll contact the office shortly to provide a rough outline of our findings and current conditions.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. I'm half month. You guys know who I am. I don't have to repeat this stuff over and over again, do I? So, I'm gonna give like a quick rundown of the tracks. That was New York, from Luke Vibert's Carrier District. At this point, it's probably a retro classic, but it's just a classic album for the house music aficionados. The second two tracks were both off of Herbert's Scale, which came out in 2006. Birds of a Feather, and I believe it's called Feelings. It's in like Those Feelings. Another great album. I don't know how classic it is, but it's on my regular listening list. It's just a fucking solid offering. And the track right at the beginning of the November Nutters video is a track called Collaboration by Nacht. Now, I've been informed recently that there's now a German dude performing and publishing music under the name Nacht. Now that is not somebody that I know, and I don't know anything about the person's music, and I'm not particularly interested in exploring that. However, track Collaboration by Nacht was a track that was put out by a guy named Johnny Egas, an old friend of mine, who had been performing under the name until his untimely death in the ghost ship fire in Oakland, California, in 2016. Johnny Egas is the same guy who was working in that group El Mondo, which was the artist that produced, wrote, and published the track The Unblinking Eye, which, as some of you who have done any reading of and watching of the early mainline streams, was the first, what do they call them? What are they called? Track, musical cue for the Nain logs as like an entity. Beyond that, or before that, it was literally just this in-game soundtrack, which is also very good. In case you didn't remember, Johnny Egas, aka Johnny Red, yes, is dead to me. I had a thing that I was gonna recall, but then I forgot it after a brief flash of rage swept through me, those feelings and whatnot. I'm gonna play the song, The Unblinking Eye, just in case you all forgot what the situation was. And I'm gonna get in here and I'm gonna keep trying to kill power play vessels in order to complete my serious goals. Once that's done, I'm gonna skip right over to HIP 87621 to finish off Jorah's participation in the current CG. Jorah is, again, the console to profile transfer. I know it's particularly confusing if you don't know, and that's generally the case, so I'm generally accepting of the fact that when people don't know things to be the case, it can tend to lead to a great deal of confusion. So I'm now informing you of those things. I'm getting shot at by somebody. Hold off on. I have to get out of here. So, since you don't know, you now know. And now that you know, to proclaim lack of knowledge would be fatuous and deceitful. to have been given such information and not believe that information without doing the cursory investigation into the material conditions within which that information would have been embedded will be equally deceitful. Lying to yourselves. The world would be worse off for it. So, I'm going to play that song again, because it's still one of my favorite songs. It's called The Unblinking Eye by Il Mondo on their album De Novo, featuring Ken Flagg, the vocalist for the track.
Welcome, Commander. Communications are open if you require docking access. Docking request accepted. Maintain an appropriate speed during approach. Docking confirmed. Ship has docked. Your ship has docked, Commander. Ship release confirmed. Ship departure confirmed. You have departed the no-fire zone.
I wonder if you guys heard that. I'm assuming you guys didn't hear that, but I assume you guys saw me rocking out. I'm gonna play it again because I like that song. And I'm gonna take my face off the fucking screen because I now realize that you guys were probably watching me rock out to like no prompting at all. So I'm gonna play the song again to remind you of what exactly has been going on here for quite some time, unfortunately. That move, man.
This was right on the midnight carrying word of your disease. Specters from your past start to scream and shout. Seems your time is up. It has found you out. The unblinking eyes staring down at you. Empty gaze upon everything you do. Through the shattered blinds, through the bedroom wall. The unblinking eye penetrates them all. The unblinking eyes staring down at you. Empty gaze upon everything you do. Through the shattered blinds, through the bedroom wall. The unblinking eye penetrates them all.
So, I just remembered that that wasn't actually the first music cue. The first music cue was the track that I did call Nain Incorporated, which is just what it was called. That was the track that opened up the second year of the Nain rocks, with the opening video, which I feel like is important for you to know about, just in terms of like your lore knowledge of the game, and then also probably makes everybody laugh when they think about the opening scene that's actually where the Nain was. So I'm gonna play that for you as well. while I wait for ships from the other powers to show up so I can kill them. That is a bit of a conundrum. I mean, I suppose it's not really like a conundrum because there's nothing to figure out. But even then, like, one might suspect there would be some form of conundrum that has brought us to this point. It's hard to know. It's hard to know, I suppose. I suppose it's hard to know what a conundrum is. If you haven't looked it up. Can't blame you guys for that. That would be insensitive. Here's the video of the Nain logs. 3308. Open it. Cannot. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to make it small so you don't have to stare at it continuously. Peek in every once in a while. Although, no, I think I'm just going to leave it up there on the screen. I haven't started it yet.
Frameshift charge detected.
I'm going to make it small so you can sort of see what's going on without. Or actually, I'm going to put it right in the center of the screen so that you can see what's going on in the video that I'm referring to. But you can also sort of see what's going on in the margins without actually getting like a full, solid view of like the central core of what's going on currently.
DeVal, his wife and their newborn son to Imperial High Society. Entertainment journalist Solomon Helios broadcast a report on the event. It's an annual tradition for Princess Aisling to invite the great and the good to her palace on Emerald, although the tragic loss of her father in 3306 meant that last year's gathering was cancelled. This year she made up for it with a sumptuous, glittering celebration of the kind that we Imperials are famed for. For the first time, Hadrian DeVal and Lady Astrid Minerva DeVal were in attendance. This youthful couple were surprisingly charming for a pair who would once have been arrested on sight. They entertained guests with stories of trading and fighting aboard tiny ships, from the days when their only title was commander. However, the real guest of honor spent most of his time asleep, oblivious to the colossal attention he drew. Yes, baby Hector made his very first public appearance, having been born while his parents were under senatorial protection. Many dignitaries insisted on having their image recorded beside the future emperor, a phrase one could hear being murmured throughout the palace. But what of the current emperor? Unlike Hadrian's family, Arisa Lavigny DeVal remains in seclusion and only communicates remotely with the Senate. Now that the terrorists have been quelled, surely the time has come for Her Imperial Majesty to reappear before her loyal subjects? Whistleblower reveals Imperial link to NMLA. A potential connection between the NMLA's dark comms network and Imperial intelligence has been made public by one of ACT's co-leaders. Captain Saskia Landau sent a personal statement to all major media outlets. The majority of my career has been with the Imperial Internal Security Service, but I was seconded for a year to a classified project run by Imperial Intelligence. To coordinate their operations, they use a sophisticated communication system known as the Omega Grid. This is designed to avoid detection or interception by enemies of the Empire. I have reviewed ACT's research into the NMLA's dark comms network and can verify its similarity to Omega Grid technology. Since this is exclusively under Imperial Intelligence's control, it suggests that an individual or group within the organization was making it available to the NMLA. I'm aware that revealing this information publicly may end my career or even endanger my life. Nevertheless, I have shared my findings with ACT's leadership and call upon the Imperial Senate to open an independent investigation into this evidence. As yet there has been no response from Imperial Intelligence or the Senate. However, several agents of the IISS have anonymously spoken to reporters from the Imperial Herald, verifying that the Omega Grid system does exist and has been in use for many years. DeVals gather to celebrate New Year. Princess Aisling DeVal marked the start of 3308 by introducing her cousin Hadrian DeVal, his wife and their newborn son to Imperial High Society. Entertainment journalist Solomon Helios broadcast a report on the event. It's an annual tradition for Princess Aisling to invite the great and the good to her palace on Emerald, although the tragic loss of her father in 3306 meant that last year's gathering was cancelled. This year she made up for it with a sumptuous, glittering celebration of the kind that we Imperials are famed for. For the first time, Hadrian DeVal and Lady Astrid Minerva DeVal were in attendance. This youthful couple were surprisingly charming for a pair who would once have been arrested on sight. They entertained guests with stories of trading and fighting aboard tiny ships, from the days when their only title was commander. However,
This was right on the midnight carrying word of your disease. Specters from your past
Anyway, shortly thereafter, if you guys remember, we all found out something very interesting. And then it was no longer called Nain Incorporated, which is unfortunate. But that stuff happens. It's got a nice ring to it. I'm gonna play one more song and then we get back into the what are those things called? Playing the game. Play the game. Trying to be incredibly more unreasonable. So, this is Good Times by Styles P. From the album A Gangster and a Gentleman.
Every day, every night, all the time. Every day I need an ounce and a half. SP, the only flow that you know, with a bounce and a half. Listen kid, I need a mountain of gas, so I can roll up, hop in the whip and like bounce to the Ave. I get high cause I'm in the hood, the guns is around. They take a blunt just to ease the pain and humble me now. And I'd rather roll something up, cause if I'm sober dog, I just might flip, grab my guns and hold something up. I get high as a kite, I'm in the zone all alone, motherfucker, case I'm dying tonight. So I roll them up, back to back, fat as I could. You got beef with Styles P, I come to splatter the hood. Every day, every night, all the time. Every day, every night, all the time. Hey yo, I smoke like a chimney. Matter of fact, I smoke like a gun when the killer see his enemy. I smoke like Bob Marley did. Add to that I smoke like the hippies did back in the 70s. Spit with the finishing touch. Get this, that I'ma finish you before I finish the Dutch. I get high like the birds in the plains. I get high when bullets hit faces after words exchange. I get a rush off the blood on the walls. You understand, like the M5 pedal when it's touching the floor. I get high cause fuck it, what's better to do. And I'ma never give a fuck cause I'm better than you. Every day, every night, all the time. Every day, every night, all the time. I'ma smoke till my lungs collapse. I'm from an era where niggas cause terror over guns and crack, where a dollar bill is powerful. I smoke weed cause time seems precious and I know what an hour do. High for a living, got to ride for a living with my real gangster niggas that'll die for a living. Shit, I get as high as I could, cause if you see things like I see things, I'ma die in the hood. Motherfucker, understand it's full surface to you. I don't smoke the weed if it ain't purple or blue. And you can name any rapper if you want, he could die. This is SP dumping and you bitch, I get high. Every day, every night, all the time. Every day, I am the ghost. Flow with me. I get high like the birds, the planes. I get high like smoking dollars to the head.
Levissima.
I think I'm just gonna listen to some fucking music while trying to do this. I don't. So here's the thing about this last mission. I'm gonna give you guys a quick glimpse of what I'm looking at. I'm gonna turn the sound of the game back on so you can hear the sound of the game. You would think there would be a little bit more oversight in regard to how this mission tasking generally plays itself out. But there are no other power play groups in this region that for some reason are even contesting this particular system, which doesn't make any sense to me. Because that guy right there is a system away. It's right there. It's right there. He doesn't want to go for this place. And then there's this guy here. Where is he? Where is he? It's this guy right here. He doesn't want to contest this, apparently. Where's the other one? And Archer's sort of here, but they don't have anyone close enough to the stronghold. Nonetheless, it's difficult to complete the mission when the prerequisite conditions do not exist for the actions we have to take in order to complete the mission. To be conducive of those conditions being completed. That was a grammatically horrifying sentence. I stand by the sentiment. That's a better way to put that. It's very difficult to complete something when the conditions required to complete those things do not exist within which one can complete those things and thereby successfully complete the mission. I feel like that's a universal statement compacted into a very, very small scale of me being frustrated with a particular aspect of this video game. I feel like that's fair for me to say. So I said it. Yeah, I gotta love the commercials. Next thing you know, I just gotta fly around a bunch, get nothing done.
Up in the 5-star telly, saying 2 mic rhymes, beat up average MCs of the times. Unlike them, we grab gems, so systematically inclined to pen lines without saying the producer's name all over the track. Yeah, I said it. What you need to do is get back to reading credits, read the medics alphabetically, stuff on that English shit. Now, before we pour that short shot, pour rock, okay, blow. From the top of the key for 3 villain. Been on in the game as long as he can really swing. Turn the corner spinning, bust that ass and get up. Dust off a mask, whoever laugh, give him a head up. He got jumped and pumped his adrenaline. He said it made him tougher than a bump of raw medicine. To write all night long, the hourglass is still slow. Flow from hellborn to free power like Lil Cole. And still owe bills, pay dues forever. Slave use when it comes to who's more cleverer. Used to wore leather goose fee with the fur collar. And charge the fee for loose leaf, words per dollar, you heard holler. Broad or dude, we need food. Eat your teams for sure, the streets sure seem rude. For fam like the partridges, pardon him for the mix-up. Battle for your Atari cartridges or put your kicks up, it's a stick-up.
put your blicks up. These fitted bowl cuts is swole like penile flicks. Give him 20. The danger in his eyes will let you know he's a brawler. Bring your tallest champs like that much taller. 10 pounds heavier, one step ahead of it. Vocab, stamina, styles, all irrelevant. Camps and cliques, units, squad crews and clans. Even with tongues will fuck around and lose you.
Boom, drum, back, bomb. There goes that news van again. Act like you're new like toucan salmon them. He eat rappers like part of a complete breakfast. Their rhymes ain't worth the weight of their cheap necklace. String them up, bring them up under whack junk snack. And get that out your hand, punk, jump and get your dunk smacked. Foul, we all know the rules. Bro, you slow, you blow the super, you fools. Heels on boss like you
go. Lights, camera, action with no makeup. We nail out to the death, or at least until we break up. Here's a couple of nice guys who finished first. So nice try, but the prize is ours dispersed. They say the good die young, so I added some badass to my flavor to prolong my life over the drum. Everyone cools off from being hot. It's about if you can handle being cold or not. And we were told to hop for no one's dick by Prince Paul. We stayed original ever since, y'all. First to do a lot of things in the game, but the last to say it. No need to place it on a scale to weigh it. And don't do it for the praise or to raise the bar. Yeah, this raised anyways, so amazing are the three LR brothers from the other way of thinking. Hey, your ladies winking, I think you need to control that, or I have to hold that.
The elements are airborne, I smell the success. Yo, let's cookie cut this shit and get the gingerbread, man. Sacrifice mics and push drugs to these rappers. Puff ponies till I turn blue in the lips. Sipping broads like 7-Up. So refreshing. I finger pop these verses like first dates. The birth date September 21, 19, 68, 20, 29, 2 bad.
It's just a public service announcement.
I'm not gonna listen to JPZ. That was Jello Silver Rock Cocaine Fuel. And there are no fucking... Sorry, there are no power play ships here in this system. For fuck's sake. Morning's going fine. My morning's going okay. I haven't had coffee, so I'm a little groggy. Or rather, I'm not super needlessly amped. It's probably better. Although I should probably also point out that even when having drank coffee the past few streams, I've not entirely been the most energetic person. So, I don't have any flashing lights and like rewards and things of that sort. Although I do have like a free copy of Chapter 4. Whatever it's called. It's the bare bones version. I don't know. Or just give it away. But I'm saving that for someone that I actually want to listen to DJ. I feel like listening, I feel like hanging out with. So I won't go on the stream. Also, I can't do that technically. I suppose there's no law against me giving away something that was given to me by the company itself. But like, some seem pretty, I don't have the authority to provide promotional materials for my own. Not legal, I think is the better word for it. Seems a little not legal. Which I can't take part in for particularly open reasons. Suspiciously, even. Don't you think? So I get merits for that. I don't get merits that I need. Huh. I have a shit ton to talk about today. I feel like I've gotten all the things that I needed to talk about through into where you needed it. I could contribute a snarky comment to the rest of that statement, but I'm choosing not to at the moment. I don't have any new music. I have any interest in playing new, because I don't listen to a lot of new music. Because I don't care what your kids listen to. I don't like keep up with like the MTV generations anymore. I stopped paying attention when New Jersey became like a really popular thing in the world for pop culture to like celebrate. Just everything stopped being meaningful at that point in terms of culture and what we all want from life. So I'm gonna play something new now. No, not new. Excuse me. It's not new. I'm gonna play a different song now. Shut up. You'll have to pardon the Italian commercials. I am in Italy. And everyone speaks Italian here, which is like culturally jarring for an American who is not an Italian. In case you didn't realize this, this right here, not an Italian face, and that's particularly how do I say this? Noble in the immediacy, not having to say a word. So this is Cohen's Sound Talk Box Kelvin Noise remix from the album Sound Funk Blaster. Wait, from the album Funk Blaster. Release Funk Blaster. I'm gonna play some good old British rock real quick. I don't know if that's the genre they use for themselves. But in the event that they do, That's what that is. Shut the fuck up, whoever the fuck that was. Sorry, I heard that from behind me. Yeah, I'm psychic, I told you I can do these things. Anyway, I don't need to let the song finish, so I won't do that. So, I'm working on something, and I've informed the appropriate parties of what it is that I'm going to be working on. And that being the case, I'm making it clear now that people are going to have to choose sides. Because all this exploring stuff and all these trading CGs are nice. Nothing drives humanity forward than a needless, openly hostile, hot conflict. So, stay tuned, as I clearly have done. Boy, you guys never see that one coming, huh? I got one more. No, I don't have one more. I have a bunch more. These are all probably going to be taken down because Muse is one of like the larger groups. So let's see. I'm going to go to a place where I can possibly find new music. I'm going to play some new music for the kids. Now run along and still be in school. Why are you just not in school? Let's see. No, I shouldn't do it this way. That's a bad way to do it. That's a bad way to do it. Niners won, by the way. They won big. Which is pretty dope. Christian McCaffrey's got the highest point per yard average of the team at the moment. It's a pay raise. Pay raise. Thought I would try to find something new. It was like relatively, it's 11 months. Track's probably slightly older than that. Really an unfortunate choice on my part. I'm gonna have to. This is a remix, so I'm gonna go find the original. I'm not shitting on this. This is perfectly fine for like what it is. It's not entirely the mood I was looking to have while I'm trying to shoot down some dudes. So, this is not shoot down dudes mood music. So I'm gonna find something slightly different. It's also not shoot down dudes music. Mood music. To answer the question, that's probably on your mind. Mood music is generally selected to evoke a particular affective response that cuts beyond your thinking process, so that you're sort of just in that place that's where the thing's going on. It's not generally like a logical thing that's trying to be evoked when someone calls upon mood music. Not like an active listening form of music where you're going to sit and listen to the music for timbre quality, the lyrics, really trying to get into like what's going on in there. Like you're not listening to the music for the music. It's sort of the whole deal with mood music. So when I'm in here trying to shoot dudes in their ships with my ship, and again I'm collapsing the difference and the distance between what's going on within a video game and my actual world, which I think we're all in agreement has been happening since the beginning of video gaming. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's generally how we describe the process of playing video games without any real fear of like having to deal with the public understanding of me being that thing there. because one, that's super weird, and two, again, particularly deceitful. Uh, but it's not entirely going back to the music for a moment, which you should face. Um, when you're describing your actions and when you're watching somebody's actions on a screen, you don't really want the music to take away from that. So I'm gonna play some music that I think is going to set a better mood for me shooting dudes from a spaceship 1300 years in the future. All of which, again, is a description reliant upon the collapsing of conceptual distance between myself and an in-game avatar, and my own real world and an in-game avatar. One might suspect that's an important collapsing to understand before going into this type of world. Christmas. I'm gonna play cross mood music, which is music that is not intended to evoke a mood, but it's just music that I like. So I'm gonna listen to it. You're gonna listen to it as well. That's a commercial. So I have heard tell that Jake Paul is going to be fighting Anthony Joshua fairly soon. It's pretty exciting. I'm going to tell you why. Jake Paul has a 12-1 record, um, and he's a 28-year-old cruiserweight. He went up to heavyweight to fight Mike Tyson. Uh, he's also like pretty clued in on like what is happening in the culture industry these days, whatever that means. Um, just whatever that means to be clued into the culture industry, I suppose, right? Um, and Anthony Joshua is a giant human being with a 28-4 record. 28-4? I feel like that seems low. He's got 25. I feel like that's low. That might not be low. But he's a former world champion of pugilism. Now, I don't expect Jake Paul to win this fight at all. Not even in the least. That'd be like if I fought Jake Paul in boxing tomorrow. Is Jake Paul fighting Anthony Joshua? Uh, it just doesn't. It doesn't add up in terms of like where my bet's going. I think everyone is particularly aware of that. However, and this isn't like I want to see Jake Paul get his ass whipped type thing. That's like petty and ridiculous. Um, but I've watched his fights. Uh, he needs to work on his footwork. And his defensive skills, slipping and rolling and all of that stuff, could use a little bit of work. That takes like decades of training to do. Like I'm not shitting on him for not being that good at that, jumping in like 5 years ago. But to fight a heavyweight is like of Anthony Joshua's caliber. It's going to be one of those like tests, and that's like an interesting thing to watch. Like I'm semi rooting for him, just in terms of like being the dude who's got the fucking money, and the public clout. Mostly because there are a lot of people that do just want to watch him get his ass kicked by boxers. But it's just like this total like rejection of the tradition of boxing and like orthodoxy, sports orthodoxy. That while I don't necessarily like believe that's a good thing or a bad thing, it's just an interesting thing to watch. And he's getting good, so it's going to be an interesting thing to watch. I don't recommend you pay for it if you don't want to. I mean, the boxers are going to be getting paid regardless. And you could probably just watch it at your friend's house and then have a party where you all just sort of watch it together. Well, seems like it's going to be an interesting fight between the younger Paul and the elder statesman of boxing, I suppose is a good way to put it. Would be an equally interesting fight, by the way, is that younger Japanese dude who's like the fucking everybody thinks he's like the best now. Inoue. I've watched a few of his fights online, and he's fucking scary. I'm not like a pugilist follower. I don't follow sports for stats and all that stuff, but I watch the fights because I'm interested in the sport. Um, but yeah, it'd be an interesting fight. It's also I'm going to be an interesting fight to see Jake Paul get punched in the face by a giant human being uh, with arms longer than my entire torso and arms combined. Well, one arm at least. Um, good luck, gentlemen. Uh, I'm interested in this fight. Uh, and I'd be interested in hearing what the word on the street is with regard to where this thing's going to end up. Because everyone loves the word on the street, if you catch my drift. I like this song. This is one of the mood music songs. That's kind of like mood music. It's hard to. Everyone's got commercials, man. Uh-huh. Finally. Finally done. That is all of them. So, as an Elite Dangerous gamer, there is a certain degree of, how do I put this? Wait, you can't hear me. Wait, yes you can. There's a certain degree of, bro, chill, to what is generally the case about this game's streaming community. We're not chill. I mean, we are. We are. We're generally pretty chill. We're not like FPS guys. The game's like too slow paced for like the hyper aggressive Twitch adrenaline. I don't mean Twitch the platform. I mean like the bodily function, adrenaline world. But every once in a while, man, every once in a while that stuff creeps forward, and all of that internal aggression that you absorb from the world comes out on the screen. So I apologize for that a little bit. I mean, I don't apologize entirely, and it is not at all an entirely unqualified, an uncategorized and categorical apology. It is a very small one because I don't feel like apologizing. To be perfectly honest, but it feels like it's the right thing to do. Just to make clear that I don't generally dislike most of you, even though I do. The negative spectatorship thing that I'm working on currently needs to be backed down every once in a while because, like anyone who knows how to make like a good sword, can't just keep the thing heated. You gotta like heat it. You gotta smash it hella hard with a hammer. Sometimes you gotta quench it. Which means put it into water, cool it down, and then reheat it. Or like when you're brewing a beer, you gotta boil it Then for a short period of time, you gotta turn it down. So proteins don't boil over. You don't have fucking shit caked all over your stove. And then turning it back up again. You don't want to get things too juiced too quickly. Another build to magnificent crescendo of divine violence, if you would. Looking at the power play situation, this is, by the way, what I'm referring to. Some of the young Ru's doing pretty well, which I will take the entirety of the credit for. Because, god damn, dude, what is Ashley doing that nobody else is doing? It's because she's tucked in the corner, man. Ashling has a particular America-like geographical, I guess, universally graphical advantage of being an imperial gaming community, but one that is also shielded very literally all of the others, who for some strange reason have not done what they can to make it clear to the young upstart that her impetuousness shall not be tolerated. But I have things in mind for that. Especially now that I'm directly responsible for Sirius rising up from where it was to 4th place in the power play rankings. It's just what it is, man. It's just what it is. I've been listening to a bunch of music. I don't know if you've been listening to it. I assume you haven't. So I'm going to listen to some songs now. I'm going to play the last one, which is one that everybody likes.
whispers of some quiet conversation. She's coming in from early flight. The moonlit wings reflect the stars that guide me toward salvation. I stopped an old man along the way, hoping to find some more forgotten words or ancient melodies. He turned to me as if to say, hurry boy, it's waiting there for you. Gotta take a lot to drag me away from you. There's nothing that 100 men or more could ever do. I bless the rains down in Africa. Gonna take some time to do the things we never The wild dogs cry out in the night as they grow restless, longing for some solitary company. I know that I must do what's right, sure as Kilimanjaro rises like Olympus above the Serengeti. I seek to cure what's deep inside, frightened of this thing that I've become. Gonna take a lot to drag me away from you. There's nothing that 100 men or more could ever do. I bless the rains down in Africa. We're gonna take some time to do the things we never Hurry, boy, she's waiting there for you. Gonna take a lot to drag me away from you. There's nothing that 100 men or more could ever do. I bless the rains down in Africa. 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 We're gonna take some time to do the things we never
Detach confirmed. Departure authorized.
light, and the light that you shine can't be seen. Baby, I compare you to a kiss from a rose on the grave. Ooh, the more I get of you, the stranger it feels, yeah. And now that your rose is in bloom, a light hits the gloom on the grave. There is so much a man can tell you, so much he can say. You remain my power, my pleasure, my pain, baby. To me, you're like a grown addiction that I can't deny. Won't you tell me, is that healthy, baby? But did you know that when it snows, my eyes become a lot, and the light that you shine can't be seen? Baby, I compare you to a kiss from a rose on the grave. Ooh, the more I get of you, the stranger it feels, yeah. Now that your rose is in bloom, a light hits the gloom on the grave. I've been kissed by a rose on the grave. I've been kissed by a rose on the grave. And if I should fall with a rose on the grave, I've been kissed by a rose on the grave. There is so much a man can tell me, so much he can say. You remain my power, my pleasure, my pain. To me, you're like a grown addiction that I can't deny. Now won't you tell me, is that healthy, baby? But did you know that when it snows, my eyes become a large, and the light that you shine can't be seen? Baby, I can feel you to a kiss from a rose on the grave. Ooh, the more I get of you, the stranger it feels, yeah. Now that your rose is in bloom, a light hits the gloom on the grave. Yes, I can pay you to a kiss from a rose on the grave. Ooh, the more I get of you, the stranger it feels, yeah. Now that your rose is in bloom, a light hits the gloom on the grave. Now that your rose is in bloom, a light hits the gloom on the grave.
storm arrives, would you be seen with me by the merciless eyes I've deceived? I've seen angels fall from blinding heights, but you yourself are nothing so divine, just next in line. On yourself because no one else here will save you. The odds will betray you, and I will replace you. You can't deny the prize, it may never fulfill you. It longs to kill you. Are you willing to die? The coldest blood runs through my veins. You know my name. If you come inside, things will not be the same when you return to the night. And if you think you won, you never saw me change. The game that we have been playing. I've seen diamonds cut through heart of man. Then you yourself, but if you must pretend, you may meet your end. On yourself because no one else here will save you. The odds will betray you, and I will replace you. You can't deny the prize, it may never fulfill you. It longs to kill you. Are you willing to die? The coldest blood runs through my veins. Try to hide your hand, forget how to feel. Life is gone with just a spin of the wheel. On yourself because no one else here will save you. The odds will betray you, and I will replace you. You can't deny the prize, it may never fulfill you. It longs to kill you. Are you willing to die? The coldest blood runs through my veins. You know my name. 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 You know my name.
In life, everyone is different. Some people use toilet paper facing down, others face up.
That is indeed the epic test of person's character. Are they downs or ups? I am going to take care of something real quick. I'm going to get into my SRV, and then I will return shortly. I will replay that video chapter, so that again you are in a place where you have a better understanding. I don't intend to do any audio commentary because don't seek me to.
It's an honor to make your acquaintance, miss. We were briefed on the current conditions in Alien.
I share my partner's thoughts. The intercept of your transmission created a significant degree of turbulence in our information collections, and we've been tasked to aid you in your efforts to dispense with prismatic Imperium interference into Cubio. First efforts in Cubio.
Much appreciated. As you might understand, I'm not entirely sure who and how such an effort was successfully undertaken, with our own technical faculties being leveraged in the extreme to conduct our own operation, and whoever that woman was, be she the Coral Nain about whom I've been briefed or another shadow, she and whomever she happens to represent are clearly a danger to
How'd
the
you manage to make it aboard this thing?
I piloted right in, using your credentials with the tower crew.
Why would you use mine? Did you at least wipe the manifest?
I'm sure it'll be fine. They'll probably think it was a mix-up between the transmissions and flight tower ship registry staff. How do you think we managed in Kelame for so long?
I stowed away on Talionis's cargo rack behind some limpets, after giving a maintenance worker a couple bottles of Burnham bile distillate to keep it his secret.
Can he keep his mouth shut?
I gave him a mixed drink recipe that'll leave him feeling lucky his eyes haven't melted out of his head. He'll know what's worth keeping down. Jorah's getting a little closer to where we need her to be.
She's been chewing the fat and puzzling through the reports. She still thinks you're me, but she's above board swabbing the poop deck after submitting her recent report. She accurately assessed that our intel about me being a QBO first pilot was likely to have been a prismatic Imperium intercept to try to head off any possible support for QBO first.
I was really hoping we could run with that through the next few tasks.
I told you it was a bad idea. Alice is briefing them right now about your Golden Gate operations in the Pleiades. I've been keeping track of their operations, and they're going to need to make a materials run and collect some of those Guardian materials.
Got it. So to recap, NAS agents in Alioth have confirmed the possible penetration of NAS operations by outside operatives claiming to be me. Your current task is to position yourselves in such a way as to collect as much information as possible on those particular operations. If possible, positive confirmation that Coral Nain was conducting operations in Golden Gate and, subsequently, the Pleiades region in the timeframe of the Jupiter Corporation rebellion under my own name and credentials would be as close to a total operational success condition, but I don't have any expectation that it would be an easy task to accomplish. A trip to the Pleiades might be required and, while that might be a little out of the way, I've been informed by sources in Sirius that there happen to be a strong contingent in the region where you can conduct NAS operations in tandem with your operations for Sirius Corporation. If you have any further questions, I will be available at relatively short notice. Good luck.
I sent you some credits to cover the jump and tritium deposit.
I received them. I'll need to communicate with the series representatives in the Pleiades about a possible carrier transit to the region. They seem a little hostile to our aims.
They're soft, squishy corporate suits playing at domination without the fortitude required to do what must be done to ensure peace.
I concur. I'll contact the office shortly to provide a rough outline of our findings and current conditions.
Alright. So I'm gonna do this exobiology grind. This is not the most exciting of the grinds. I will tell you that. I'll give you my honest review of that. Not the most exciting of grinds. There's not much to say about it other than that, to be perfectly honest with you. I'm going to listen to some music as well, so I hope you enjoy the music more than I enjoy speaking a lot, for the most part, under these conditions.
Direction assistée désactivée.
Warning. Extremely high temperature detected.
I'm gonna get some water for a second. my cross. Anyway, there is indeed something stuck in my craw. It has to do directly with the Xeno grind. I'm just still not sure, like, but I guess all the CGs generally require pretty, like, repetitive motion. This one in particular is kind of strange to me. I gave, like, my big tinfoil heading a few streams ago. And Commander Meccan gave, like, a pretty solid one. It seems a lot more probable to me in terms of what's going to be happening and why they're doing it the way they're doing it. Just in terms of overall likeliness to occur within game in the near future. His seems particularly more likely than mine. But something about it. Lingering doubts in my mind. My mind grates. About what exactly we're about to take part in. Oh, I didn't make it. That was a far drop. So, as I mentioned on the stream where I gave like the big ol' master vision tinfoil heading, I do sort of hope that they decide to make use of this particular layout of planetary life forms on a broader scale over the course of the near future. Because I think it would be a very, very cool thing to do some planetary landings, like massive, lush landscapes where you've got to run around, try to avoid getting smashed by trees of this sort and other exobiologicals. What's the other thing I was talking about? Geologicals, and then also cities that we can use as backdrops for pew-pews. What do they call those things? What do the developers call those things? In their inimitable way. What are they called? Settlements. That's what they're called. Your responsibility. Anyway, so I read about interesting tidbit about the royal family of England again. Apparently, a teacher at the princess's former school hung himself recently. To the conditions of his life after an investigation turned up some illicit and unseemly activity on a vacation to Malaysia. Now, the article doesn't mention anything about what that illicit behavior is. One might surmise. School trip to Malaysia. Shenanigans. Shenanigans were had. But there's a mother and 2 children who are surviving the departed. Have to be accounted for. So again, great job, England. Great job. Taking care of folks that produce such fine specimens of human existence. You know what this song sounds like? Is that Blue Bossa? I don't think that's Blue Bossa. Only one way to find out. Any certainty. That is exactly not the song. What the fuck song is that? I'm never gonna figure that one out. That's gonna bother me forever. Someone knows the song. Someone will be like, that's the song from that song. I'm like, that is indeed the song. So I'm gonna end the stream because I'm gonna get ganked probably for my my Xenos, because there are heroes out there in the world. You have to recognize that. I can't accept that about the way the world works. And then you're in for a rough time, man. Alright, so I'm going to end the stream, and you can all go do your thing.